What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Helmet to Helmet 49ers podcast. I'm your host, JT. My co-host is my dad.
What's up, GT?
First, don't forget to like.
And subscribe.
Cue the intro music. Alright, so, the 49ers lost against the Chiefs, but, it's a Cowboys preview, but we have to talk about the Chiefs versus Niners game because we haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, that was a painful loss.
I swear we're not avoiding it. We were kind of busy, too.
Yeah, we were busy too. Things that happened that were out of our control, but that loss against KC was pretty rough, right, JT?
Yeah, nothing was good in that game. Except Pearsall's debut,
which was okay. I think he had 21 yards, something like that.
But it's a good thing to happen, I guess.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is a good thing that he was able to play his first game and get his first catches, and because we need him now more than we could ever imagine.
Maybe he was a good pick after all. I grade the pick an A now instead of a C.
After the fact, huh? Sure, yeah. Hindsight and all. I would have took Lad McConkey though, right? If we were gonna go for a receiver.
A slick lad?
Slick lad, that doesn't work. Oh man. Okay, let's go over the last game kind of quickly, huh? What do you got in your notes, JT? It wasn't pretty. We lost 28-18.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I don't want to use that yet. Unless we're winning. Okay.
So the 49ers offense struggled because Brock Purdy was struggling.
Oh man.
Because he didn't have any weapons in their receiving game besides George Kittle, but he kind of need more than that.
That's true, but he made some bad choices, right? Yeah. I think he made some bad decisions and threw some untimely interceptions inside all three of them. He threw three interceptions. All three of them were in KC's territory, and one was thrown right into the end zone for a pick.
Double coverage.
While in the red zone. Yeah, exactly. So Purdy struggled definitely against this defense, which is the number one defense in the NFL. So I guess it was unavoidable. I mean, of course it is, but you got an excuse there, I guess. They are very good, KC's defense.
So. Yep, and the injuries for the wide receivers are pretty bad. Juwan missed this game because of hip injury, and then Debo was basically out for the entire game, barely played because he was sick.
Yeah, they didn't know why he was sick at that time, but they did show him try to get on the field, but it couldn't. Then he had oxygen on. Then he was just standing around. I was wondering what kind of hope he's not contagious because he's just standing around all his teammates. But later on, they found out after the game that he went to the hospital and was diagnosed with pneumonia. So that means he has fluid in his lungs, which meant it was very difficult for him to breathe, which was his case. So yeah, we were down 2 wide receivers from the start.
And then probably one of the worst things could have happened. Brand tore his ACL and MCL, so he's gonna be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we just lost him, the guy who we just signed. Exactly.
Luckily, it's not looking terrible because this wasn't his year of getting paid $30 million a year or any of that. So
no, but it's coming. It's coming. We're paying him a good chunk, and he got his signing bonus. But this is exactly why the players hold out and trying to get the most money when they can, because you never know when when one play will be your last play ever. So it could have been a worse. I've seen other worse injuries in football where they're done. There's no more checks, no more games, nothing. I mean, so it's good how you got his money, and that's why players deserve it because this is a dangerous sport, and we've seen so many. We saw Chris Godwin get hurt soon after.
because of the hip drop tackle. I think someone injured their hip because of the hip drop tackle in week one. That's what James did.
Yeah, but what I was saying is just it's a dangerous sport, and these guys are warriors, and they deserve any money that they can get. I don't blame them. All right, so all right, the three wide receivers down. It was the Ricky Parasol show and Jacob Cowing show and whatnot.
Oh yeah, he is so good. I don't know why he's not playing that much. Well, now he has to. But he used to
Yeah,
be wide receiver 3.
Cowing.
Yeah, this game. Upcoming game versus the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, possibly. It depends. You want to go the youth route and go Parasol Cowing, and then give Conley number three receiver kind of stuff. I mean, I would love to see what the young guys can do with their speed and quickness. Um, all right, keep going back to the last game. I don't want to jump back and forth, but what else you got on there for notes, JT?
Well, at least the offensive line was pretty decent
Mm-hmm.
with them stopping Chris Jones. No sacks. So maybe Pooty had a pretty good game. But according to PFF, he didn't have a great game. But whenever the team does bad, everyone's PFF grading goes all the way down.
Yeah, Purdy was sacked once. I forgot by who. Three interceptions, one sack. It was not a good day for Purdy.
2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, his feet did it for sure. Um, kept us in it. Jordan Mason did pretty good with 14 rushes for 58 yards with a 4.1 yard average. No touchdowns though. Leading the receiving core was George Kittle with 7 targets, 6 receptions, 92 yards, no touchdowns here. So um, Jacob Cowing had a long pass too. Besides Kittle, he had a long pass, and Cowing had a long pass.
Could have been a touchdown.
Could have been touchdown. A lot of people complain like if Purdy threw it deeper, it would have been a guaranteed touchdown. He threw it short for both of them. They both had to stop, turn around, and catch the ball. And then, what? I don't think we got touchdowns out of those drives either. So when we get a chance to hit deep, we need to be able to make it all the way because our red zone is still one of the worst in the NFL. So we're having trouble on offense, defense, and of course special teams. Um, all right. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Wisnowski? Also had the last play for the Niners in that game. He was trying to onside kick and
Oh my
he
god.
he barely even touched the ball when he swung his leg. Is like he just kind of spun in place. It was probably the worst onside kick I've ever seen.
Well, he should
I
never do onside kicks, but like, I don't trust Andre Carlson with that. So
want to call this the non-special team. That's what the Niners should call it right now because our kicker missed an extra point, our punter missed the onside kick. We allowed a 55-yard return. Um, all facets of special teams is not special. So
yeah, this is like the worst special teams ever.
I want to call it the not special teams. Okay. Yeah. All right. Are we done with this? Can we put it in the back burner now?
Well, let's talk about the safeties, I guess, because Jair Brown he might not be that good according to John Chapman with the film. He's
Jair right now.
been regressing a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that Andrew Thomas thing where at the end of the season he was like making interceptions in the playoff game and whatnot. You're like, oh man, this guy's a starter next year. Not players don't do that. Players are human and they have their ups and downs and maybe a different scheme or they're teaching something different or they're trying to learn more, which is messing up what they already were good at and things happen. we're not robots. They're not robots. So it's not a linear thing where they always get better. They take dips and they get better, then take dips and then more dips, and then maybe never come back, like Ambry Thomas. So, um, yeah, I'm hoping with more experience and Jair Brown can work through this and get better because we did see some good plays from him, and I believe that he can be a good player for us. Um, Interception in the Super Bowl, come on, the biggest stage ever in the NFL, and he did that as a rookie. So I think there is something there that needs to be coached up.
And then on the good side of safeties, Malik Mustafa. He looked
Mm.
pretty good besides that one play. Patrick Mahomes, he got trucked. But
Mahomes trucked him in the end zone, right, for the
yeah.
touchdown.
But other than that, he was rock solid at tackling. Coming in all the way downfield, tackling in the run game. He's really got run support.
Yeah, he came in so fast. I've nicknamed him the Missile. What do you think?
Yeah, Malik the Missile.
Malik the Missile Mustafa, Triple M. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That has a nice ring to it.
But I think like down the line, the Niners are going to decide between Hufanga or Malcolm Mustafa. I know it's really early about Malcolm Mustafa and stuff,
Uh
but
huh.
you want someone who's like higher upside and doesn't like guess hopefully not get injured a lot, or someone who he probably has higher potential. He's all pro, former all pro, but gets injured a lot.
Well, now
And then
he's
they're both
injury
run
prone.
support safeties, I think, right? Because Hufunga's not the great coverage.
No,
So I
no,
don't
they.
think you can have two run support safeties, right?
Well, yeah, but we never had a great coverage safety. I don't think recent years. So I don't think the Niners are looking for that, or else they would have spent like a high draft pick on like a free safety. Me, the single high. I want the single high, the guy who can play center field and cover everything. And who's that guy with the Seahawks?
Andre Diggs, he
No,
used
no,
to be
before
there.
that. It's before your time.
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas. Thank you very much. Now he was the quintessential um, center fielder, single high safety. Oh man, that sounds so good. But they don't. I don't think they play with single high much. Maybe two safety looks and stuff. They don't look for speed, or else they would have gotten like that bullet guy from USC. They just don't. They just don't care about speed much. Um, Unfortunately, but they're looking for instincts maybe. Um, I Mustafa is easily the choice though out of those two. Sorry for Hufanga. I mean, if he truly is injury prone, which it looks like this year,
Yeah, he has a cast on when he's in the play.
I mean, 1 year doesn't tell the whole story, but right now that's how it looks. And Mustafa has the speed and maybe the instincts and just needs some control. He just needs
But if
some
you can
control.
control boom tackle, oh,
He has the upside because we don't know what he can do, so there's upside there. Um, but with Hufanga, we kind of already know what he is, and he has some limitations. Not so fast, but good eyes. Anyways, um, I would go Mustafa. I'd go Mustafa or Jair Brown. I think those two are great young safeties, and I hope the best is yet to come.
yeah. I think we're done with the Chiefs game.
Okay, all right, done with the Chiefs game. Close that book out.
Next chapter
Next chapter.
Sunday Night Football. Cowboys versus 49ers at Levi's.
Okay, the Cowboys are 3-3. The Niners are 3-4. So this is not like the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl kind of a matchup. It's not what it used to be. These are two struggling teams.
This is the 1980s team. The
Uh,
1980s versus 1980s. Both of them had their peak years there.
yeah, but this is not peak. This is bottom of the barrel Cowboys, terrible Cowboys, and the Niners are not having a good season either. So this is not like that. But it's still a rivalry, sure. Niners are favored by 4.5 points right now. They're always favored. They're a favorite against the Chiefs, but this is more of a doable game to win. Don't you think, JT?
Yeah. First of all, we're at Levi's, but like last week we're at Levi's too. But no, home field advantage always helps. But like
Sure.
the Cowboys are doo doo. They suck. Hopefully,
We have a worse record though.
they would be 3-4 if they didn't have their bye week.
Okay, good point.
Niners have a
Um,
better quarterback.
okay, let's just go down the injury list because the injuries is what I think. I mean, it's not even. It's no more Pro Bowler All Star players. Everybody's injured. Everybody, everybody's injured. So it's all backups. A lot of it's backups. So how about on the Cowboys side? How does the injury thing look?
Well, they have two star defensive players out because Micah Parsons is out and Deron Bland.
Mm-hmm.
Micah Parsons, their best defensive player on
Don't
their
forget,
team.
I think Dexter Lawrence,
Dexter Lawrence.
is that his name?
That's Marcus Lawrence.
Marcus Lawrence? No.
Yeah.
Well, they're
No, Dexter Lawrence is the Giants' defensive tackle, I think.
was it? Let me look this up.
Demarcus Lawrence.
I can't find it.
But yeah, didn't Marcus Lawrence was injured, right? Is he on IR?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's not playing too. So no pass rush for them.
Hey, don't jinx it.
No star pass rushers.
Okay, there you go. That's fine. Yeah. I think Eric Kendricks is injured too. How come I'm not finding him? Defensive end.
Oh, he's in the bomb, I think. Injuries.
No, he's not there either.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, but Marcus Lawrence isn't playing. So they are also going through injuries. And Duran Bland, their star cornerback. Maybe their best cornerback.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. How about the Niners? What you looking at there?
Kevin Givens is out. Juwan Jennings is out, and Jake Moody's out.
Juwan Jennings is a little bit nerve wracking here because this is like the second game, and I've heard he hasn't even come to practice. He doesn't even show up, and I don't know what's up with this one. This hopefully it's not too bad, but he's not even showing up for anything. Hope he's okay.
And then for questionable players, George Kittle, but I think he's going to play. He always gets injured every single game.
Mm-hmm.
He's always on the injury report.
He's banged up, but he keeps playing.
So just rest the entire season. The season's over, man. Yummer Lenore, he's sick. He has the Debo sickness. He came out of nowhere on the injury report.
Let's hope it's not anything long term that will affect him. That he can play.
He's the best cornerback on the Niners. And then George Odom, the All-Pro special teamer.
Sure.
Imagine how bad the special
can.
team is gonna be after that.
With him, we're terrible. So that tells you how good of a special teams player he is. if he was good,
he's getting triple team. That's why.
Are you watching the game film or something? You're just making stuff up now. Just the facts, man.
And then Debo is questionable.
Okay, now he has pneumonia. He went to the hospital, like we said, and they're hinting that he might play. I've heard pneumonia could take weeks to get over, and that's just a regular person, not a pro athlete that has to run hundreds of yards in a game. I don't. If he does suit up, I think he's going to be more of a decoy than an actual weapon in the offense. I don't think he would be able to do too much if he's still trying to recover from pneumonia.
And he has a wrist injury too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all for the injury report. So, what other news is there?
Evan Anderson, right?
Oh
You're
yeah,
excited about that?
my favorite defensive lineman on the team
Mm-hmm.
got promoted.
Now, this guy was an undrafted free agent. The Niners signaled him out and signed him to the highest contract that they gave an undrafted free agent this offseason. So they really brought in the money to entice him to sign with us, Evan Anderson. So he's been playing really well. You've been following his PFF grades throughout the season whenever he got to play. Small sample sizes, but they're really, really good. So we're kind of thin with Hargrave out. Other injuries like Kevin Givens is out right now this week. That we need some more quality depth. And who knows, this guy could be a starter for us maybe, later this year or next season. So it's great to hear. Um, okay, he does have to beat out some pretty good players like Malik Collins and Hargrave next year, but maybe he'll be a quality depth piece for us. Of course, Brandon Ayuk officially was put on IR, so his season is officially done. That's
And Bernie did get injured. Could lost Anderson maybe.
oh yeah, that's I don't know. Maybe they correlated. Him putting Brandon Ayuk IR opened up the spot.
Yeah,
Evan
it
Anderson was
happened.
put on an active roster. Well, that's good that we locked him in because we didn't want to lose him to another team or just let him hang on the practice squad. Um, yeah. Let's see. So,
There's other roster moves that happened,
okay.
like Adrian Amos promoted to the active roster. You have
Oh
really high
yeah,
hopes for him.
I did like him when he was with the Packers. Um, I thought he was a good safety, so I was excited. I mean, that was years ago, so I don't know if his play is as good. I did look up his PFF grades, and they were pretty consistent. There was maybe 2 years ago he kind of took a dip on the PFF grade, but last year he played, he went back to his high level of grade. So I don't know why he's been a free agent unsigned this whole season, or why he has no team before this. But I'm totally happy that we can give him a shot, give him a try, and see if he can, make an impact at safety for us. We need all the help we can get right now to turn the tide here and get on a winning streak.
Yeah,
So looking at the league rankings between Cowboys and the Niners, points scored, we're eighth in the NFL, while the Cowboys are 20th. That's a pretty big discrepancy between the two. Um, we averaged 25.7, and the Cowboys averaged 21.
a measly 21.
Well, it's a measly 4.7 points between each other, so that's not a lot of leeway to win a game by. I, you know, um, points allowed per game. That's a big one. We're 16th at 22.6 points per game allowed, and the Cowboys are at 31st, second to last, at 28 points. So defenses, we're middle of the ground, and they're
Lackluster.
one of the worst. So our offense hopefully will have a chance to shine against this poor defense that they have.
They have no run game because
Yeah.
the Niners are averaging about 150 yards per game in the rushing game, while the Cowboys average 77 yards per game, which is 32nd, last in the league.
Well, the Niners are seventh place at
Yeah.
that yardage you were saying, right? And time of possession.
Niners have a long time possession because they stall on the red zone a lot. But they're first in time possession while the Cowboys are last.
Yeah, that is the biggest discrepancy between the two, right? First and last in time of possession, although our records are still about the same. So I don't know. How does that equal? Usually, when you win time of possession, you win the game. That's not the case. I think maybe we're giving up chunk plays on defense, so their offense needs to only have like 3 plays, and they go all the way down the field and and score, while we take our time like a whole quarter just to go down 100 yards or whatever, 80 yards, and dinking and dunking and getting penalties and going backwards, and I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the big stats here. I think that will matter, and it will be uh what do you think about CD Lamb? Are you he hasn't had a great season, but he is a really good receiver. And I heard on the bye week he was with Prescott, just practicing on their timing. They're going to try and be as ready as possible for this game coming up.
Yeah, I think C Lamb has come in a bit rusty because he's not like top in the receiving yards
And why is he rusty though?
because of the contract negotiation holdout.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's it's true. But after a while, the rust should be knocked off, and they should be in mid-season form pretty soon. So hopefully, this is not the week that they blow up. Um, Anything else about the game? You want to give your any matchups? You usually like to do the matchups. What do you think? CeeDee Lamb versus.
Traverse Ward because Young Lawler might not be playing.
Okay, okay. You always like to put Ward against the number one receiver, anyways.
Only because
So who is the number one quarterback for us now? Oh, that's a question.
I think it would be a Lenore, but just in case he doesn't play.
Okay, okay. Ward has not played well. Something's up. Personal reasons. He's injured. It's last year of his deal, and he doesn't want to get injured before another payday. Who knows? Only Traverse Ward knows. But hopefully he can up his game, because CeeDee Lamb will be um, highly used and targeted, because they barely have anybody else. Yeah, on the offense for the Cowboys.
Wait, is Todd Guyton starting?
I believe so. I heard Tyler Guyton is starting at left tackle, the rookie out of Oklahoma, the guy who I did not want to get. And I heard that he's been playing really bad,
49.7 QB rating. I'm sorry, not QB rating. PFF grade.
which is poor. He said 70 is about a good starter quality. He's below 50. So I know we said it many times before, but maybe Bosa can eat this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope he gets at least 2 to 3 on Dak, because usually we have his number. Usually we can fluster Dak and make him make mistakes or something like that.
And then Ricky Pearsall versus Trevon Diggs.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
have to go
boy.
to 4 hours backups because there's no one else playing. Starter.
I'm actually very excited to see what he can do, because Shanahan just does not play rookies. So
To prove him wrong.
not to, well,
I
I
think it
mean,
already has, to be
I
honest.
mean,
This
he
rookie
did
class is really good.
with that with Debo. He did that with Ayuk, but mostly because of injuries. They didn't want to play him. I mean, Shanahan didn't want to play rookies. I mean, if they shine, great. I don't think it's going to change Shanahan's thinking, because he doesn't really change the way he thinks, it seems. But hopefully they'll show what they can do, and they'll be more involved even when the starters come back. Debo and Jawan, they'll give a little bit more time and a little bit more credit to Pearsall and Cowing if they can play out and show up tomorrow. So, what do you think Pearsall is going to be on his stat line? How many receptions? How many yards do you think? Because they're gonna force feed him because he's almost WR1. What do you think he can? What do you think he can provide?
5 receptions for 50 yards.
Wow, that's it, huh? Okay, okay.
Oh, whoa. Are you being biased because you have him on his fantasy team? Are you
Oh,
having high
yeah.
expectations
No, well,
for
I
fantasy?
think because they're gonna force feed him, he's almost the only guy. I mean, if Kittle's depends, of course, if Kittle's playing and everything. Even if Kittle plays, I think he's gonna break the 50-yard mark. I have high hopes and a weak Dallas defense that Pearsall will come out with 84 yards, 6 receptions. That's my call right there. How about Cowing? What do you think? More or less than Pearsall? Do you think he'll be a bigger, explosive player?
I'm gonna be
Uh,
realistic.
okay,
2 receptions for like 30 yards.
okay,
30
okay.
yards might be too much, to be honest.
See, I'm looking opposite. I think he's gonna have 4 receptions, 60 yards. Um, I think they have to be highlighted here in this game. We don't have anybody else.
Chris
They're gonna.
Conley,
He hasn't done much either. I mean, if you want to get somebody who can be quick and get
a
open,
veteran.
it might not be Conley, but I think they're going to be thrown to the young ones more in this game. So I'm kind of excited to watch it, just because. I mean, sure, there's maybe no all pros or pro bowlers in the lineup, maybe besides Kittle, uh, Debo, who knows? But if you're saying Conley and Ronnie Bell and Eric Saubert and Pearsall Cowling, if that's the lineup, yeah, that's not an all pro lineup. But I will be excited to see, since we're going against the one of the weakest defenses in the NFL, these young receivers have a chance to show something. So I'm feeling positive about it. I'm excited to see what they can do. Yeah. Before we finish up, I want to talk about a possible trade. The trade deadline's coming up November 5th, I believe. November 5th is the trade deadline, and we have not made a trade.
I will. Not gonna lie. Unless we lose this game, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, if we lose this game, I don't know if they're gonna invest in any. This might be a
Tank.
lost type of season where we, even if another person, we give up draft picks and get another player, it won't do. We have too many holes, too many problems that one player cannot fix, especially if that player is just so.
Let's get Taysom Hill then. He can do everything.
He's injured too.
He is.
Well, he was this season.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, yeah. QB slash tight end slash wide receiver slash running back.
He also plays special teams, I think, right?
That's exactly what I want to talk about to you about this. I made a little list of kick slash punt returners that we could trade for. Maybe a sixth, maybe a seventh round, maybe even swap a picks in the late rounds. Who
Wait,
knows?
before you say anything, I'm gonna try and think of one.
Okay, okay. So I
Rory McLeod.
no, I had to find teams that were not doing too well. Of course, those are the teams that want to trade their player, trade a player, and it's just a special teams player, so it should be really cheap, right? It's not a starting receiver or running back or defensive end. It's just a special teamer, and I think in increasing that, having a consistent return person that will help out the special teams go from bad to okay slash good.
Wait, is the Patriots returner on there? I don't know his name, but I just feel like
No,
oh.
no. Is that Tyquan Thornton? Was he doing returns?
Honestly, I don't know why, but I just had a feeling that a Patriots returner would be on there, but he's not.
No, no. I have a. You probably don't even know these people. That's the thing. You might know two of them. From the Broncos, cornerback. You don't know this guy. I've never heard of him.
Riley Moss.
Are you kidding me? He's young. Is he even a returner? From Iowa.
I
Cornerback
don't
from
know, but a white
Iowa.
cornerback. Ooh, Stanley
I liked him.
Smiley.
I liked him. Yes. Yeah. No, no. This is never heard of. I was just looking at stats, looking at teams that were not doing too well, and then looking at their kick returners and punt returners, and looking at their stats and their averages and seeing whether or not they're good. So that's what I did on my research. I found Tremon Smith, cornerback for the Broncos, 7-year veteran. I don't have the stats, but he has good return ability. So you're gonna look up his stats, huh?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the next one before you even start looking. So
I'm almost done.
no, you're not. You didn't take too long. It's too hard. Too hard. Okay. The
What's
next
his name again?
person, Tremon Smith. Tremon Smith, cornerback.
Is he back there? Oh my god. What are you?
What?
Look at his stats, man. His stats.
You gotta
They're
look at. You
terrible.
might not just look at this year. It's a short year. You gotta look at his career. He's averaging
One touchdown.
26, 23, 22, 25, 21, 30 this year. Over 30 yards of return. That's pretty good.
To be honest,
Anyways,
I want Marvin Mims. He's an all pro. He's good.
yeah. Like it.
He's
Okay,
good.
so let's just speed through this. DeAndre Carter. Didn't we have him on our practice squad? He sounds
I
sort of
have
familiar.
no clue.
7-year veteran from the Bears. He's a wide receiver. I thought he was pretty good too. Okay, I want to speed through this, JT, because you're not going to be able to get these stats up fast enough.
Found him.
He looks
Oh,
bored in that picture.
oh, 6 touchdowns. Oh, that's receiving. Never mind.
Yeah.
One. That was in 2021.
We're just looking at average returns. He's pretty consistent in kick returns, but and highest right now this year at 33.3. So the other one you've heard of, Braxton.
Barrios.
Yes.
No, he's injured.
Wide receiver for the Dolphins, also 7 years. Those the last three players, all 7-year experiences. Is what just a coincidence. Um, so it's an older veteran that won't cost much because it's not like some young prospect that they drafted.
I thought he was injured.
He's doing pretty good, I think. The last person I have is Parker.
Washington.
Hey, you know these players pretty well. Wide receiver for.
The Jaguars. He just got a return touchdown.
Oh yeah, yeah. 2 years. Now he's only a second-year guy, so I don't know. Young prospect. He's been doing pretty well. They might not want to trade a young prospect that's cheap. Um, those are the four players that I had just randomly found from teams that I thought would be on the trading block for fire sale and stuff. So Broncos, Bears, Dolphins, and Jags. We'll have to see if the Dolphins lose, even with Tua back. Then they might start selling before the deadline. Broncos are kind of iffy too. Hopefully they'll sell. Um, anyways, I think a good returner.
I've like just pulled some random names out of a hat.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I kind of wasted my time there. Tell you the truth, it's like kick returns. How often do we actually return it? It's just like a touchback or something. We have Isaac Garendo, who did
Fun
make one good
line.
return. Jacob Cowan on the other side. We do have some young talent. So, um, who is that supposed to be? Charlie Jones?
Yeah, Charlie Jones. They got their
Charlie
return
Jones.
touchdown.
That sounds familiar. We
He was in this year's draft, I think, or maybe it was last year's. I forgot.
wide receiver, right? I think last year's
Purdue, I think.
Purdue. Okay. Anyways, it'd be interesting. I would love to talk to you more about any trade
Where's
possibilities and
Jamal
stuff.
Adams?
Um, but that will be off the air, of course. All right, so we're about to hit the 40-minute mark.
Oh yeah, that was a long one.
All right, so Cowboys Niners. You are predicting what score, JT? Dun, 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 dun.
I know it's gonna be surprising, but I'm going like 24-10.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I I'll go 28-13.
All right, I've got score too.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. All right, yeah, let's shoot for that. That last game against KC, I was having a little bit of butterflies about it. I was a little nervous about it, so I was not going to guarantee much of a win, even though I did predict a slight win. But this one is much more doable, and hopefully another get right game. I don't know how many get right games we need in one season, but it seems like every game needs to be a get right game. But so far, we have not gotten it right.
There needs to be
I
a get right streak.
Yeah, exactly. We need a streak of wins here. So hopefully this will be the start of something. And then the bye week happens, and then we play Tampa Bay. Then we'll see how things go after that. But can't wait until the for the trade deadline. See if the Niners do any big moves like they usually do. But of course, hopefully this we get a win this weekend, and that will drive John Lynch to improve the team, and so we can make a little playoff run. Yep.
Well, that wraps up for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.